Hi, welcome. I'm Nicola Chatham and we're in the garden with Dee Humphreys today.
Good morning.
We're doing another herb of the week, and now this one, I have to say, Dee, this one's actually changed my life.
Yeah, it's changed a lot of people's lives, Nick. There's no end to the stories that go with go-to cola. Yeah.
How do you spell that?
G-O-T-U, go-to, and then K-O-L-A, go-to cola.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people think I'm saying Coca-Cola, and it's not. It's go-to cola. Anyway, go-to cola is this little guy on our left here, and it's actually a ground cover, and it looks a lot like a sort of a native violet. So if you look at the leaves, it's like a violet leaf. You know, the old violets that used to grow in pot plants that had the purple flowers. This looks just like him, but it's quite different. He's great for so many things, Nick. One of the main things is longevity, brain capacity. Who doesn't want that with Parkinson's and all sorts of problems going on?
Yeah.
And what his main claim to fame with humans is that most of us are suffering from things like arthritis, back pains, body pains, and for some reason this little herb manages to clear all of that. And I've got a funny feeling that it doesn't actually change your back or your arthritis. What it does is it stops the inflammation, and that's the actual pain that you and I are feeling when we have these things. So if you have any pain of any sort, go to Cola's your man. Now, it comes in a range of different sizes. You can see the little leaves, they're tiny like this, and then you get your bigger ones, and I've got in other parts of the garden quite large ones, like a 50-cent piece or bigger. And you say to yourself, well, how many leaves would I have? And if you think about covering the surface area of a good sized 50-cent piece, it would mean in this case about 4 or 5 leaves each day. Go to Cola's best eaten before midday for most people because, for example, I suffer from lovely dreams at night time. I always remember my dreams. I have very vivid dreams. If I have go to Cola before I go to bed or any time after midday, I get really quite out of control vivid dreams, and it feels like I've had some drugs during the day or something, which I haven't. So keep him as a morning herb, I always say, and that way you just eliminate that problem of having the bad dreams. But go to Cola is a ground cover that will spread and take over your garden like a normal ground cover, which for some people is a bit overwhelming, but when you realise how much you want to eat it, when we first planted him around the garden, we were going, come on, we need 5 leaves a day. And then next thing we knew, he'd taken over and he was as happy as a goose. And then we get to eat so much of him and our friends enjoy him, and you can cut bits out and give it to other friends to on-plant. And he prefers a shadier spot for starters and something that's well watered, not necessarily wet feet, but he will actually grow in a pond situation in a pot. Doesn't mind some wet feet, but he just likes it to be moist and a little bit darker. And then he'll move into the sunny spot, strangely enough, all by himself.
Gets stronger.
Yeah. So it's one of the top 10 herbs. Don't keep it out of your diet. Make sure pop him into your diet as much as you can.
My testimonial for Go to Cola is when I started using the computer again a lot. I was sitting in a chair for 8 hours a day, and Dee reminded me, have some Go to Cola. And I think within 3 weeks of having again the 6 leaves a day, and I have it in the mornings, and I didn't know that about the dreams actually. So that's good.
You just eat it.
Yeah, just eat it.
You make a tea if you want, but just eat it.
Just eat it. It's got a little bit bitter, but it's not unpleasant. And within 3 weeks, my back pain was gone, and I'd been trying yoga. I'd been doing all the things that I thought would manage it, but really it's the inflammation that's causing that pain. And this little guy fixes it all.
Yeah, and Isabell Shiphard always talks about in her presentations that she does on herbs that I actually contacted her a couple of years ago. I'd had a really, really chronic back pain for 8.5 years, and it made me so that I couldn't do a lot of things. I couldn't sit, which meant I was standing all day and stuff like that. And I started taking it. I ate it, I think, for about 3 weeks, and suddenly my back pain literally disappeared.
Yeah, and you forget, and you're like, what was that pain that I used to have? Oh, I can't imagine having it again.
Yeah, and I've been 2.5 years pain-free, and I can do all this gardening happily rather than each night just going, where is the hot water bottle, and just being in excruciating pain for 8.5 years. It was a horrible way to live life, and I really owe that to Isabel, who passed on that information to me of how simple this little herb, and he works so beautifully. So go to Cola.
Get some, and here's to your happy health.
Happy health.